guys, welcome back to my channel. And what are we doing today? We are actually looking at my first impression of the Crayola colors of the world coloring pencils or colored pencils. There are 24 colored pencils in this set. Let's talk about it. So in 2020, Crayola, the company, is no longer Bidney and Smith. I've been doing a lot of Crayola for the month of August, guys. I think not only did I declare August as the month on the crayons, but August is also the month of the Crayola because I've been doing a lot of reading when it comes to Crayola. And one of the things I found out when I started, I think this came out in 2020, so there's definitely videos out there regarding this product. They had developed the color of the world. The colors, sorry, I keep saying without the S, it's actually colors. The colors of the world series, and this series is where Crayola had made colored pencils, crayons, and their famous Crayola markers. I'm not sure if it's the normal ones, but it's definitely the chunkier ones than the ones I have, to depict the different skin tones all across the world. I'm trying to keep the clear to a minimum. All across the world, especially for persons like me who have darker persuasion. So basically, this color set is supposed to represent us, the darker people who are not necessarily, burnt sienna, or people who are not necessarily just brown, I mean, darker persuasion people, as we all know, have different tones, shades of darkness. We're not always one color. And I love that one of the things, to sidetrack here, I love about my country and the Creole culture, which I am from, because the Creole culture in Belize actually means black people who are descendants of African slaves, but our shades and our tone is not all one color. We have different persuasion. I'm a Creole and I am brown skin. My husband, he's a Creole and he's lighter than me. You have other Creoles, and even in my own family, I have my sister. If you see me and my sister side by side, basically we have two different shades of skin. She's way lighter than I am, and that's because she took off my mom. She's very light skin, very, very light skin. My dad is dark skin, so in my family alone you have different tonations and different shades of skin color. And that's one of the beautiful things about the Creole culture here in Belize, that you can be Creole, but you don't necessarily have to be one shade of skin color. You can be light skin, you can be dark skin, you can be a whole lot of variations in between that. You can have hair with a little bit of kink. You can have hair with a lot of kink. You can have hair like mine. I mean, you guys see how my hair is. It's always fuzzy. You can have straight hair. You can have curly hair. I've known Creole people who are actual Creole people who are labeled and cultured as Creole, but their hair is straight, literally straight. And that's because their Creoleness comes from the fact that their mom or father is Hispanic or Latino, whichever terminology you identify with, and their family is of darker persuasion, but the hair type they took is from the other culture, so their hair is actually very straight. My husband, his hair is very curly, way more curlier than my one is, but it's not as fuzzy as my one is, because he again is mixed with another culture. And my mom had straight hair, literally straight, thin, straight hair. And so it's so beautiful when you see the Belizean Creoles. I remember, and just again, I'm so sidetracking here, guys. I remember when I was studying abroad, and I was talking with another student that was from another university, and he's from, I believe he's either from St. Kitts or he's from one of the lesser Antilles. I know it's a lesser Antilles. He's not from one of the greater Antilles. He's either from St. Kitts or St. Lucia, but he was from one of the lesser Antilles. And we were all celebrating, I believe we were celebrating Caribbean Day where we were studying. And so you had Caribbean cultures from students from across the Caribbean cultures that was studying in a way, just, you know, celebrating their culture and talking about their foods and stuff like that in the different countries. And so here I was talking with this other student that was from one of the Lesser Antilles, and he was telling me that he couldn't believe the diversity of the Creole culture in Belize. He really couldn't believe it because he see me, who is a darker skinned Creole, speaking the Creole language, and he says, I went there, I saw you, who's a darker skinned Creole, speaking the Creole language, and I saw this other girl who had, you know, hair with a lot of kink, but her skin is so pale, she looks almost white, but I knew she had to be mixed with, you know, with some, because her hair has a lot of kink in it. Then I saw this other person who looks like he's Hispanic, and I was like, but he's speaking Creole. And then he had a third person come up to him and he's like, oh my God, this must be somebody who's East Indian, but this person is speaking Creole. And I'm like, he's like, wow. And I said, but the person who looks East Indian actually is Creole, because, you know, he's not only East Indian, his mom is from another culture. And in our country, we don't define Creole as only black people. We define Creole of anybody who is mixed with more than one cultures, which basically encompass the entire country. So we all identify ourselves as Creole. And he was just amazed and mind blown of how amazing we are for the Creole culture to be so inclusive in the country of Belize. It was just, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about that moment, because it was beautiful when he came to that realization that in the country of Belize, you know, our Creole culture is very inclusive. We're not exclusive. That was such a long explanation to say that why am I so excited regarding these set of colors here, because finally, you know, we're not all peach skin, and so Crayola has identified that, and they brought out this series. I got the colored pencil kind. I did not want the crayons kind because I know I wasn't going to use it, and I really don't favor a lot of water-based markers, so I didn't get the marker kind, but I did get the color pencil kind. And today we're going to be looking at my first impression of these, and we're going to talk a little bit about it. Okay, so as you can see here on this side here, Crayola have put the color swatch and names of all their light tones, and on the opposite side they have put the color swatch and names of all their dark tones, and this is on the box. Okay, so here Crayola tell you a little bit about their color of the world color pencils. Crayola says the Crayola colors of the world color pencils contain 24 specially formulated colors that represents people from all over the world. Now it is even easier for kids to color themselves, their families, and their friends from all over the globe. Now I know that Crayola have made this series in collaboration with this chemist and makeupist from Max Factory. I forgot his name, to be honest. I forgot his name. Who went out and started his own makeup company, and he's been in the makeup industry for more than 30 years. So this is a well-established person, and he worked along with Crayola to bring out these colors. And I think he makes makeup, and I think that's why I said makeupist. I remember in a previous video I said makeup artist, but I think he's a makeupist where he makes makeup to match people. So what better person to bring in on this than the person who actually makes products to match skin tone? And so Crayola brought him in, and they had collaborated, and they have put together this set of colored pencils. It gives you some safety information here. I'm trying to keep the glare to a minimum. It gives you some safety information here about these. It does conform to the ASMD 4236 standards, which means it's non-toxic. It has little representation of kids here, which is amazing. Pale, tan, dark, you know, so it does have representation of those kids here. Okay, I think I'm allergic to the cedar wood of this thing, or the wood of this thing, because my allergies start acting up crazy. That was happening when I get a new pencil. Okay, there we go. This is a little thank you card from the supplier I bought it from. Okay, and here we are. The beautiful set of 24 colors. Oh my gosh, look at them. They're so gorgeous. Oh, This is gorgeous. I wanted to see if I find my skin tone. What do you think? Because definitely have darker persuasion. I'm somewhere between an extra deep golden to a deep golden. You don't think so? Yeah. So this is what the swatch say I am. Oh, I said because I don't like when they use this gold font print on colored pencils. It kind of makes it hard to read. It does has the color of the world logo here, the Crayola trademark, and this is deep golden. I think this is my skin tone. We're gonna see in a minute. So I think what I'm going to do is, because it comes in colors of golden, almond, and rose, we're gonna put all the golden colors together, and then we're gonna put all the almond colors together, and then we're gonna put all the rose colors together, and then we're just gonna set those out in from light to dark. And so let me get that done, and I'll come back to you guys. Here it is, all swatched out, and it ranges from, oh, this is almond. This is almond too. I think there's 10 almonds then. There's 10 almonds and 7 goldens. And then there is 7 rose. So I was like, wait a minute. Some of these things I'm thinking for. Wait a minute. These are all almonds. So there's 10 almonds, sorry, 7 golden, 10 almonds, 7 golden, and 7 rose. And it ranges from very deep to very light. I think I just messed up my whole thing, so I have to redo it again. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. So these are the goldens, yeah. So there's 7 goldens, 7 rose, and 10 almonds, and it ranges from very deep to very light. Okay, so as you can see, I have my swatch grid all lined up, all ruled up. Sorry, I nicked my finger. I was trying to get the swatch grid looking good, and I kind of made a mistake and I eraser it, and that's why I don't like eraser dust. And my finger got caught on the staples in here and it nicked me a little bit, so that's why I have this little thing there. I usually use my brush, but I was so lazy to stretch for it out of the pencil canister. So yeah, that's what you get for being lazy. So yeah. So now that we have the grid all ruled up, let's get to the swatching, shall we?
Everyone is now
am finished with my swatches here, and I should say even swatching to me is an art form, because the swatches have to make sense to you. The swatches has to be appealing to you, you know. So when you look at your swatch reference, you automatically get cues from it, or it can actually inspire you or motivate you on drawing something. And that's why me swatching things takes a long process, because it's not only just put down the coloring paper and see what it is. It's put down the coloring paper, arrange it in such a way that it is aesthetically pleasing to me, to my eyes, and able to inspire me. And this form actually did. How I did it was that I matched all the, because actually I noticed that it came in variation of extra deep to very deep to deepest to deep to medium to light medium to very light and to extra light. And I try to put all those together. Of course, you have the different colors to it: almond, rose, and golden. So those are the hues. I'm taking it at those are the hues, and the extra deep to the extra light are actually the saturation or the contrast of the color, something like that, like the wavelength of the color, so that when you go through the hue, the color itself, you can get this amazing variation of tonations to it. Okay, so I just spoke technical. I hope I was correct in my technical speaking. Please let me know in the comments below if I actually described that technically correct. And now that I've swatched it out, remember I said I thought golden is my skin tone? I still think it's between golden or medium golden is my skin tone. One of the things I want to find interesting is that, because I have 3 characters, I have September, I have October, and I also have August. Now September is like me. She's a dark skinned girl. She's of darker persuasion, versus October that is blue. So definitely we cannot color October with this color palette here. And then you have August. He's my male and he's Caucasian. And so I want to find interesting is how now I could best describe September, because in truth September is my avatar to a certain degree. I mean, she likes certain things that I don't like gardening. I hate gardening, but you know, she's kind of like my avatar. But I do like drawing flowers. But I think it's my allergies. You know, I can't smell the roses and appreciate their sweet scent like other people, because I'll just start to sneeze my head off. And that's the whole idea behind this, to see now how can I truly render someone like September who's of darker skin persuasion. Because for the most part, when it comes to my markers, her skin color is actually between a tomato brown and a terracotta. And for August, he's Caucasian, so he's definitely, you know, fleshed or peach. And now that I have this range, now I think I could properly render them. And versus October is blue, so you know, we just use any great blue for her and we're okay. Maybe Crayola might decide to do a blue range to try to complement people with characters with blue skin. Maybe, I don't know, but it'll be interesting to see when they do it. But all in all, I am going to take all this information that I have done. I also swatched it out on black paper to see the different variations, how it will come out on tone paper. Some of the things I find interesting here is like the lighter colors, especially the lighter you go, the more alike the color looks on black. Those are some of the things that I found interesting in this range here. And yeah, so guys, I really did my research when it came to this one. I have presented it to you, so maybe in a future video we will start using this palette and see how we can work with it. And all in all, I need to start practicing with it now so that I can get a feel for it, so that when I do that video with you, I'll be able to better show off the abilities of this palette. And all in all, I want to thank you so much for joining me on this journey. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.